Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Silkman with Lucy today, and we're going to talk about the value of trust in a relationship. Obviously, that's something we hear all the time, and probably there is no other place where trust in a relationship is more important to the quality of the person and, in this particular case, the quality of the pet. Without trust and without understanding, well, I guess what will I say, what happens without it? I've got a case earlier this week, and I won't mention the person's name because I think it's tactless to do so, but this person had a wonderful relationship, they thought, with a wonderful dog. Probably the nicest Rottweiler dog that I have seen in many, many months, at least as to how the dog understood and trusted its relationship with two-legged pack members. Unfortunately, the dog is no longer with the owner because the owner believed that the relationship was fine. The owner believed that the understanding between the two-legged members in the pack and the four-legged members of the pack were all on the same page. But the sad consequence, and the consequence that we deal all the time with in veterinary medicine, is that the pet did not understand, or at least the owner maybe didn't understand, that the pet was doing something in protecting its pack that it would typically do. What the pet was doing was, and what the pet ultimately lost its life for, was attacking other dogs. So while the relationship between the owner and the owner's family, and as near as we could tell, even in the veterinary field, the relationship that this pet had with two-legged pack members was ideal. The lack of understanding that the owners had about how pets naturally behave and what they would naturally do in a different setting ultimately created a crisis situation that unfortunately ended up in the pet losing its life. So why does that happen, and why do we see euthanasia of pets be the #1 cause that pets lose their life from? Well, it's generally because we as people don't understand the natural programming that a pet would have. Why did this pet attack other four-legged pack members? Well, it's because in a natural setting with a dog's natural understanding of how things work, a pack is going to occupy a physical space. That physical space is going to provide a source of nutrition, a source of shelter, a source of emotional support, and that pack can be invaded by other individuals. Well, if another individual that you don't know invades your space as a dog, you have the option of letting it just come in, which goes against all of your natural programming. You have the option of trying to scare it away, or you have the option of trying to eliminate it. Unfortunately, this pet took the option of trying to eliminate another pet or another owner's pet from the environment. It did it actually a couple of times, and the owners didn't feel like they could deal with the problem, and ultimately the pet lost its life. So what is the point of this video? What is the point of me discussing these things with you? Well, as a veterinarian, speaking to other veterinarians if I might, behavior is good business. If you have pets that are losing their lives prematurely because they're destroying the house, because they're inappropriately eliminating on the furniture or the carpet, because they're ripping up the yard, or because they are attacking or aggressive in ways to either other two-legged or four-legged pack members that they cannot be sustained, as a veterinarian, I lose the opportunity to help that pet. So instead of maintaining a relationship for 5, 10, 15, maybe even longer than 15 years, I might lose that relationship within a year or two. And again, as a veterinarian, that's poor business. It seems, though, unfortunate, and I would say very, very uncommon, that most people who are veterinarians who do what I do seem to advocate for good behavior. Now, when an owner comes in and has a pet that's out of control, they might suggest training, they might suggest something else. What we've incorporated into our practice method is every brand new puppy in the education with their owner has a discussion about the importance of behavior for this very reason, and not so much because I'm worried about the revenue that I have to or would potentially receive from a longer term relationship, but because there is so much emotional impact that the pet and the owner can provide for each other. In fact, I have other videos, if you follow me, that talk about the enormous benefits that people receive from pets. And this is not soft sort of kumbaya type science. This is hard science with hard research to say that people with PTSD, people with bipolar, people that are suffering from ADHD or autism, those people get a relationship and a benefit from the pet that is very seldom received in almost anything else that medicine can provide. Pets, I think, similarly receive enormous benefit and enormous satisfaction when they understand what the four-legged pack members want from them. And I could go on and on and on and probably bore you guys to death with all kinds of statistics about what I know to be true about how good relationships with pets benefit owners. My purpose in the conversation today is to make you aware of the issue. And if your veterinarian isn't coaching you to deal with behavior, and if you're a person who has to say to a lot of people, well, my pet's really good, except, and that except might be that they don't trust men, which, again, they shouldn't have the license to do. It might be that they're really good at home with the kids, but when we take them out, we have to be careful with them. And so, you know, the statement seems to indicate that there is justification for the pet behaving the way the pet behaves. Ultimately, the pet will behave the way it feels most secure behaving. And so, in a broad view of what's good behavior and what's a good relationship of an owner with a pet, trust, as we started this video, is critical. If the pet does not trust that the owner understands the situation, that the owner is in control of the situation, and that the owner can dictate to the pet what needs to be done, the pet is going to act in what it believes is its own best interest and its owner's best interest. How does that manifest with things? Well, it manifests a whole bunch of ways. Part of what Lucy and I are doing is we are attending dog classes, not because I don't think I understand behavior, but because Scott Minson and Darcy Phillips, who run Dog to Dog, understand far more about behavior than I do, and I wanted to do it right. Well, Lucy behaves herself wonderfully. She's a standard poodle. You can see her running around here, and she's been, oh, there she is. She's been with us today on this video, but she thought being a good pet was looking pretty and acting intelligent, and when we got down to a new procedure on our last visit, which was jumps, she looked at me and went, "Dad, athletics, jumping over something that might hurt me? I don't think so." And so I was the only person with a pet who wouldn't do the jumps. Well, as somebody who does a lot of athletics and who prides themselves on that, I decided Lucy and I should learn about athletics, and she picked it up pretty quickly when she understood that I understood what she needed to do and that she would not be hurt by it. So just one example of where trust becomes important. And ultimately, if you have a pet, I hope you have the understanding that if your pet cannot trust whatever you ask it to do and whatever situation you put it in, there is an opportunity for you to improve that relationship. And unfortunately, there are many, many instances. I've just revealed one one for you today, where if you don't understand that the pet doesn't trust what you ask it to do, there can be some very devastating consequences. And I hope you never have to live through that, but unfortunately, we see it sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes certainly at least multiple times a month, where unfortunately we participate in that same thing that we know about the statistics, where we help euthanize a pet because behavior was a problem and because the owner and the pet couldn't find a way to work that out. So, this is Dr. Terry Silkman with Lucy. We're trying to bring you good content. We hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. We hope you're enjoying summer. We're shooting this video on a spectacular day here in Utah. Until next time, this is Dr. Terry Silkman and Lucy, trying to bring you things that help you and your pet live better and live healthier.